Sister, what in the world you talking about? I need to get off the internet. I had want to make some videos. I be looking at my hair like they saying something unusual. People really need a lesson in diversity. I like to share topics, but I want to talk about diversity as a topic. I think people need a lesson in that. I want to talk about plastic surgery as a topic. Why? Because the immunity is your body's defense against bacteria, germs, and infection. And these are things that cause disease and cause an attack in the body. But did you know that your skin is a part of the immune system? Yeah, I want to talk about the whole immune system out here. You know what I'm saying? And if there's a cut in your skin, then your immune system has to go into defense mode to fight the enemy, the bacteria, the germs from hurting you, from making you sick, from causing an infection. An infection that could potentially be dangerous. Depending on the bacteria that are present there. You know, and I want to do a little, just a little information lecture on some topics. Um, immunity, diversity, sex. Just little things. Cause people be thinking they know it all, and I said, people, if you go to high school and the teacher talking, watch what the kids do. These are all things that we sit in class learning. Go watch what the kids is doing. Why would you know? Because if you have a good parent and you bring home a bad report card, my mama is not having a bad report card, so of course I'm doing my homework. But and paying attention in class. But you know, if you're gonna have plastic surgery, you have to be sure your immune system is ready and that you do it in a proper environment. Because when you cut your skin, you remove a barrier against bacteria and germs that cause infection. And depending on how bad the infection get, it could be very dangerous. And that's why, and bacteria and infection, you want to have plastic surgery in the hospital, not in the clinic. Why? Because the hospital is more sterile. It's germs and bacteria that cause infections that cause things to go wrong. And see, you break the skin, you already open up one of your defenses. Then your white blood cell has to go under attack. They have to get defenses to begin to fight the germs that could enter in that broken skin, that cut skin, that surgical opening. Your white blood cell has to go into attack. What if your white blood cells are weak? From what? From what? What if your body's still trying to recover from a major event? You see what I'm saying? So, you is your white blood cell gonna be strong enough to fight, to be defensive against any intruders? So you have to eat a healthy diet. You have to avoid, excesses, excessive smoke, excessive drinking. I wouldn't smoke at all. I would avoid smoking completely, but you want to avoid excesses. You know what I'm saying? And eat healthy. You want to take your supplement. You know what I'm saying? And that's a part of me. And I will not break my skin. I will not break my skin for nothing. If you accidentally break your skin, you hope you have a healthy immune system to fight any intruders, germs, bacteria that will cause infection that can make you sick or that can harm you really bad. But I would not intentionally break my skin. But Cynthia, you're not in the environment where your looks. I am. I'm going through so much right now in my work environment. I'm going through. You won't believe it. I'm going through because people think I'm ugly. But I'm holding on to my faith. It's hard. It's not easy. But I wanted to come on and talk about, and I'm not probably not talking about nothing that interests anybody. But, you know, the Bible said foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, and the rod of correction will drive it out. I said God correct those he loves, not those he hates. The rod of correction will drive foolishness out, and God correct those he loves. And you get corrected by God because he loves you. And I was thinking about earlier today about how there are whites coming into the black community having sex with the children. But what's happening is the children, there are children indeed that are sexually active. And whites see that. And they want to make the argument that a child likes sex. And they have an agenda. That children like it, but what? But that's so wrong. That's a deception from the devil. That's a deception from the devil. Why? Because the child not gonna be a child. He's gonna go into an adult. Child's not only gonna be a child for a little bit of time. So that's a deception of the enemy in people's mind, in a pedophile's mind. But they want to use the black woman because the black woman is actually sexually active sometime as a child. You can see. Don't sit there and act like you don't see that. It happens all the time. It's very prolific sometimes in the hood, in those inner city neighborhoods, in those pockets of economic depression. You see it a lot. 11, 12, 13. I've seen it even younger than that, and that's very sad. But what is the point? What my point will be? The Bible says that in the last days, and I don't want to misquote this, and I need to read it verbatim, that in the last days, the dead will live again, the dead will walk again. What's that mean? It's a resurrection? No, dead people will walk upon the earth. Just a prediction in the Bible. The dead people will walk upon the earth. What do you mean by that? I'm not saying I'm right, but this is my opinion about that. I'm not saying I'm right, but this is my opinion about that. I'm not saying I'm right, but this is my opinion about that. That the devil is trying to deceive people into having sex with children. Why? Because through that sex, they will enter into that child body and live again. Oh, you really tripping now? You really tripping now? You lose your mind. I remember once I was walking down the street past the graveyard, and it was this white couple having sex on top of a grave. And so I'm like, oh, white people so nasty for to be having sex in the graveyard. And the Lord spoke to me saying that she dead, and he come to have sex with her in the graveyard, in the cemetery. I don't understand that. Because when I looked at her, she tried to look me dead in my face. And when I looked at her, it was a blonde white woman. Very young. Maybe her early teens. Young. Maybe her late teens. I'm really not sure. 14, 15, something like that. 16 maybe. And she had, and I didn't understand what God meant by she did, because she had flesh on her body and she had blonde hair on her head. But that's what he said to me. He said that she did. And so, yeah, and just to make sure he's like aware of what's going on. I said, well, I didn't know what to think about it, but I didn't understand it at the time. But I really believe that this is a deception. And people say, oh, so they want to see you down. I really think that there's a deception behind trying to get me out of my job and out of my finances. There's a deception behind it. Why? Because if you marginalize somebody, then you can exclude them from a lot of things. Oh, you're a nerd, so you can't go to the party. Or you can't go to the this, or you can't go to that. You can't be a part of the this. If you marginalize somebody, oh, you don't look right, you don't have the right clothes. What are clothes? It's a waste of money. There's a lot of things people waste their money on. And I think they do it just to marginalize other people and exclude them and ostracize them out of certain things, out of certain enjoyments in life. It's a deception of the devil. And I think people sometimes, the devil might not gonna come in an obvious way. Come in a way that you can see that he's the devil. And that's what I think is happening through the whites when they have sex with black children. They're trying to say that the child likes that, but it's a deception towards them. to to be able to use a child for the dead to walk in their box again. And how do they use you? Well, you could get people get so corrupt. It's actually the death penalty to have sex with a child. But people could get so corrupt that they could allow something like that to happen, not knowing this is a deception from the devil, so that he could get dead people back on the earth. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I see that. That's why I see that. And how do we prevent something like that? Well, first of all, you don't want to sit around attacking one person. And second of all, the Bible said that I said it in the beginning, foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, and you have to correct it. But people sit there and look at you and want to exclude you from something. You see what I'm saying? See, people want to exclude you, want you to do this, and want you to do that, and want you to enjoy this, and want you to do. And that's how you get corrupt, because you are sitting there agreeing to do evil, and you get a corrupt, and you look the other way, and you close your eye, and the next thing you know, so the devil have you deceiving us, think a child can have sex. Oh, that's a lie. I done seen it, and I wonder what's going on, and I wonder what's going on, and so what would my point be? Well, you know, the earth was destroyed before. Everybody on earth died except 8 people. And when people tell that story about Noah, they tell it as if Noah was laughed at. But they didn't know why Noah was building the ark. They probably marveled at it maybe as a artistic structure, as just another piece of architecture. Noah, God did not tell Noah to tell anybody that he was going to destroy the earth. God was not planning on. The Bible said that God said everyone is corrupt. And he's sorry he made them and he's going to destroy them all. He didn't say he was going to save anybody but 8 people. Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their 3 wives. 8 people. Only 8 people. So what are you saying, Cynthia? 8 people. I remember when I was a young girl, Reverend, at the church I was going to at the time, Reverend, and this is the same church where he came to pray with us, and all these girls had ran to the house thinking that he was in there doing something sexual. He said that only 11 people gonna go to heaven, and people told him he was full of demons and witchcraft for saying that. People had said he practicing witchcraft and control for telling people that only 11 people gonna go to heaven. And he said that, but the Bible says in Noah's day, only Noah and his sons and their wives. That's only 8 people. Out of the whole earth being covered with people, only 8 people were saved. There's destroyed before in the apocalyptic event. So, um, it is very possible. It is very possible that who knows what is going to happen. Who knows what is going to happen? The Bible predicts that in the last days, he said, "Will he find faith on the earth?" He said, "Will I find faith on the earth?" Faith to believe what? Faith to believe what? To believe God got something for you, and you don't need what belongs to someone else. Listen, Cynthia, you know what? You don't have this, you don't have this, you have that. Well, what if God come back right now? I'm not even gonna take this jacket I have on. So it don't matter that I don't have this. I don't think God's concerned about all these things that people think they're gonna deprive someone of, specifically me. I don't think He want me to be concerned about that. I think we are really in a time. In the blink of an eye, any moment, the people that's going to heaven are going to disappear. I really believe that. And people want to think that they scare you. Oh, please believe I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. Please believe that. Please believe that. You better know it. I'm not afraid. And when I say it, don't take that the wrong way. I'm not challenging anybody. I'm letting you know I'm not afraid. Not anyway. Not anyway. And you can sit up there and sell your children to the whites. But I'm telling you, the white agenda. They think that they want to prove that children want to have sex through the black little girl. But nobody's buying that argument. So the devil is coming with another deception. Look at how somebody is attacking me and no one is saying anything. People even think it's funny. People even think I need them to stop it. But the Bible said the whole earth was corrupt. The devil will get you corrupted enough to let children have sex. He can come the way the white wanted to come. So he can come another way. The Bible says in Sodom and Gomorrah, the stench of Sodom sin was going up to heaven. But in the last step, I said the angel went into Lot's home. Somebody attacking me. The angel went into Lot's home. The angel went into Lot's home. And they say people will knock on the door. Bring the man out to us so we can know him. The one who will bring him out so we can have sex. Talking to an angel. Bring him out so we can have sex with him. I'm telling you what the devil doing. He tried to make pedophilia something possible with children. I'm going to show you how foolish that is in a minute. How possible with children through the black little girl. But nobody buying it. But the Bible said the whole earth was corrupted. Or no, it's not. What's corrupted? People think somebody needs something and they don't want to see you with it. I had said I want to teach on diversity and on immunity and on some other little topics that I was interested in on sex. And people say, well, what you mean about sex? Because I see people that are grounded in their thinking about sex. You know that sex is like breathing. It's given by God and it's private. Once a man will leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, it's private between a husband and wife. But people do all kind of crazy stuff about sex because they don't know what it is. It's private between a husband and a wife. People think you're gonna say this, you're gonna think that, you're gonna say that. What comes to your mind when somebody says something about sex? All kind of crazy stuff. Well, I wasn't saying that it's private between the husband and the wife. And do you know what is happening in that involvement? That's what I was gonna say. But anyway, like I said, I wanted just to share some things because I don't think people isn't grounded in their thinking about sex and about diversity. You know what I'm saying? About some other little topic. And people don't realize the dangers of plastic surgery. And I know a lot of people get plastic surgery. I know the Kardashians get a lot of plastic surgery. But what do we know about the Kardashians? Only they fuck black men. That they're very healthy. They're very healthy. If you are going to compromise your immune system, you want it to be ready to fight, to do battle. You want to be ready to fight, to do battle. But anyway, we have to, like I said, the will come another way. The devil is a deceiver. And he couldn't come that way because nobody's buying it. Well, he will come another way. And that's what I think. I think he's trying to corrupt people so that they will let that happen. The Bible says in the Sodom and Gomorrah that people will bang on the door, small and great. Some people interpret that terminology as small. Some people interpret as poor, rich and poor, small and great. But some people interpret as children, small and great, children and adults were asking for sex. I lost the back of my ear. My ear itching. But anyway, church asking for sex. When Sodom destroyed, how the devil, he tried to come through the black little girl. But that's foolish. That's a deception. And you know why? Because a child only stays a child for a short period of time. So how are you going to foster an intimate relationship with a child that's going to go up and become an adult? You're going to have to move on very quickly to the next child once that child grows up. But once a child becomes an adult, you can spend a beautiful lifetime with an adult. You can. And I want to be able to make a video because I want to show pictures of my grandma in a lifetime she spent with her husband. And my grandmother was a very prominent Indian featured black woman. She had hair all the way down to her knees, black hair, jet black hair all the way down to her knees. She was a light skinned. She was very light. She was like a brown, more like maybe a brown complexion. And her husband was very, 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 very white. You know, people accuse him of being white and pretend to be black to marry my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? But they lived a very, very endeared marriage for many, many years. And that's how foolish the deception is. But nobody bought that argument. You see what I'm saying? So what does the devil want with a child? Because I believe that they can enter into that child and live again. The Bible predicts that the dead will live again. Since you're just going all over the place, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it right there. But I do believe that the dead is wanting to enter into children through sex. And so he's trying to get you corrupt enough to let that happen. Trying to get you corrupt enough to let that happen. But you know, I would say don't be a busybody in other men matters. Because the simple answer is you have to correct a child. As far as the black woman's concerned, correct a child. If I say foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, it has to be driven out. Correct a child. But see how someone is hurting me? Everybody turn a blind eye. How do you think you become corrupt? Corrupt. I said the whole earth was corrupt during Noah's day when the earth was destroyed in that great apocalyptic event. The whole earth was corrupt. I don't know what corrupted them, but turn a blind eye to evil will corrupt someone. And then all the enemy have to do is come in and take over. All they have to do is come in and take, because everybody hurt by seeing somebody over left. I'm not talking about me. Maybe I don't need what you're scared I'm going to have. But what if we're about to have a apocalyptic event and only a very few people going? Oh, I know it's more than 8 people going. Think about it. Why would more than 8 people go if only 8 people left the first time? If only 8 people were saved the first time, why would more than 8 people go now? Think about it. Think about it. I don't need nothing you're going to see me with if I'm about to leave this earth to go to heaven. Blessings, everyone. Blessings.